Hello, everybody. Andy Jacob here with the .com Magazine Entrepreneur Spotlight Series. I have a show I've been waiting for a number of weeks. I'm so excited about this particular show because a lot of people reach out and they say, hey, Jake or Andy, we want to learn more about, of course, Bitcoin. I mean, everybody's talking about it. You can't go on TV. You can't go on the radio. You can't go on a podcast. You can't go on the internet without people talking about it. And they say, hey, Jake, when you get somebody that comes across your desk that really understands Bitcoin, they understand mining, because everybody wants to know about mining. Everybody has heard about it. There's a lot of people investing in it. It's a great passive opportunity for certain people. If you sort of engage with the right company, then bring that person on the show. So we've been able to bring on a real leader in the field. He's the CEO of Leverage Mining. And of course, his name is Colin Yurcisin. And Colin is known throughout the industry as a real leader. He's got a great entrepreneurial story. I mean, he started when he was very, very young. He's even young right now, but he's really had a great trajectory in this space. And I wanted to congratulate him on what he's doing. But Colin, welcome to the .com Magazine Entrepreneur Spotlight Series today.
Hey, thank you so much, Andy. I appreciate the warm introduction.
Yeah, we had a great conversation. I mean, what you're doing is resonating for so many people. We have so many questions. So many people have reached out to me and they said, hey, Jake, when you get an expert in mining on the show, make sure you ask these questions. So we have a bunch of questions for you from the audience. Let's go, though. Let's pull the lens back to 30,000 feet. Colin, tell us what leverage mining is all about. And then we've got the questions and we're going to get into it.
Yeah, so leverage mining was created by me and one of my best friends, Connor Stevens. I grew up with him, and I've been in Bitcoin for 2.5 years now, and I always wanted to have an actual company around it. I was just buying it, holding it, being a traditional pleb, but I had no business around it. I had no way to make money with it. So when I discovered that Bitcoin mining was something where you could use depreciation to offset your taxable income, and then I discovered that my best friend Connor had a energy source through his dad's facilities, through one of their family companies, of 4 cents a kilowatt. I put the two and two together and I said, well, I can automate this for people. We can basically take investors in, they can, purchase their own miners, they can get the write-offs, and then we can manage it for them in our facilities, do all the dirty work and, do all the things that they wouldn't know how to do otherwise. So we basically, help facilitate miners and we manage everything A to Z. They get the tax write-offs and it's a win-win for everyone.
Yeah, I love it. You and Connor put together a great program. There's a great trajectory, a great story about the kilowatt hours and things like that. But before we get into that, we have younger people that watch the show. They, of course, they get it. They know what's going on. They're involved with Bitcoin. They understand the mining, most of them. But there's guys like me and gals like me. I mean, I'm older than dirt. I mean, I'm an old guy. That, older folks might not really understand what this whole sort of mining is all about. They might even not even understand what it is or even know about it. So maybe just real basic for the people that don't even get it. What is the mining? What exactly is Bitcoin mining?
Yeah, so Bitcoin mining is basically, let me relate it to gold. So when you're mining for gold, you're taking ores, you're taking machinery, and you're digging in the ground and exerting energy to dig up gold, the actual physical gold. Now, Bitcoin, you can imagine it's the same thing as gold mining, except we're doing it on computers. So imagine it all being on the internet, that magic internet money that we're trying to mine for. And the way you do that is you plug in these machines and you run a software called the SHA-256 hash function. And I know it's a crazy word, but basically think of it as a computer software, and the machine runs this and they all work together to solve problems on the Bitcoin network. And once you solve the problem and you do the transaction problems, you get rewarded with a Bitcoin block reward. So like you're rewarded Bitcoin for solving problems on the blockchain. And that's really what Bitcoin mining is, down to a nutshell. So it's really cool. You just need a computer to start and you run the software, but obviously energy is very expensive. So, when you put those two together, most of the time you're going to be negative when you're mining for Bitcoin, unless you have a really good energy source.
All right. So let's talk about that. That's really interesting because when you think about computers and you think about a number of computers and they're working and they're processing and they're doing their thing.
Yeah.
One thing that has to make them work is energy. And of course, if you don't have an inexpensive energy source that's less expensive than the actual mining itself, then you sort of go into, a negative. But you figured out with your partner, Connor, a great way through some relationships to offer a program. And we're going to get into that momentarily, but let's talk about this energy source. You found a way to have a cheaper energy source than many others. And that is one of the reasons why leverage mining is so powerful and successful.
Yeah. So the company that we work with is Connor's dad's flashlight company. It's called Princeton Tech. And they've been, in operation for, I think, 30 or 40 years now. They have a combined facilities of 100,000 square feet of warehouse space. One of their warehouses is in an industrial zone in Pennsylvania. It's about 45 minutes outside of Philly. And they have energy there at 4 cents per kilowatt. So that just to give you an idea, the average household is getting energy at about 15 cents per kilowatt. So 4 cents is an incredible, rate to get your energy at. And it's very profitable if you mine in that energy source. So he was doing it on his own for quite a bit. And then when we reconnected over Thanksgiving of 2021, he told me his energy source that he had, and I had a massive light bulb go off in my head. And I was like, we need to work together and really get this energy going.
I love it. It's so interesting and it's evolved. I mean, this mining has really evolved over even the past, couple of years. Even in the past year, things have changed, let alone, 4, 5, 6 years ago. We were talking and you were talking about some technology that is sort of mind blowing. I mean, for the people that don't even understand how it all works and where it goes and what it's all about, we were talking about a substance. It's not water, but it's liquid that can cool off the machines. And when you told it to me, where you had your head explode and your light bulb go off, my head exploded and my light bulb went off. Let's tell the viewers about this sort of I'm not going to call it water, but under liquefied sort of computer.
So there's a couple mining companies out there that do this, but the most, I would say, advanced way to mine and the most efficient way to mine is by immersion cooling. So it's called immersion cooling liquid. And this was created a few years ago. So it's brand new technology. But basically what you do is you take your miner and you remove the single biggest point of failure, which is the fan. Miners get extremely hot and usually they have a lifespan of about 4 years because things just start to, break and deteriorate. But when you remove the fan from the miner and you submerge it under the immersion cooling liquid, this liquid is very cold. It's at like 38 degrees we run it at, and there's fans blowing it around, and you can submerge the machine under the water and it now expands the lifetime of the machine because now you don't have the fan, which was the biggest single point of failure. And with a certain software that we have access to, we can now overclock that miner. And instead of running at 110 terahash, we can squeeze out 150 to 175 terahash per miner. So it's almost like getting the power of 2 miners within one just by using this immersion liquid technique that we have.
Yeah, super cool. We want to talk about the investment opportunity, but before we do, you focus only on Bitcoin. I mean, that's your dig, that's your gig, that's your deal, and there's all these other coins out there and all these other, opportunities, but let's talk about why, Colin, you only focus on the one thing and where do you, and why do you do it with only Bitcoin?
Yeah. So right now we're just living in a broken system. The Federal Reserve, basically there's a room of people that control the whole world with the US dollar right now. And you see with monetary policy, when they tighten, what's happening is the entire world is breaking down. They're like heroin addicts. They're addicted to their fix and they need a fix of money right now, but they're not letting it happen. And as you can see, the whole world's deteriorating. And, there's only been, so many fiat currencies and every single one of them have failed. There's never been a successful fiat currency. And we're right around that 100-year mark where I think things are going to start completely breaking down. And Bitcoin right now is the only answer that is really here. It's the only decentralized money that can be worked peer to peer. There's no central power. No one person in a room can control it. And then you have all these altcoins and cryptos, Ethereum, Solana, Cardano. All the ones I just named, they all have founders. They all have, boards of directors. They're making the rules. Ethereum moved over to proof of stake. So now the largest stakeholders, have the most say in the protocol. So I'm just not about building, a life that we already have on a new system, Web3. I think that's kind of just like a cool hip name for the same traditional finance system we have today. And I just don't want to see that. I instead want to focus on the solution in the world that I do want to see. So I'm not paying attention to any of the things that I don't want to see. And I'm building the world I do want to see with Bitcoin and Bitcoin mining.
I love it. I mean, you break it down so great. It's fantastic. Colin, let's talk about it because, people have heard about it. Maybe they've dip their toe in it. Maybe they bought some Bitcoin. Maybe they're, a big Bitcoin holder. Maybe they've sold and buy and sell and everything else. But what's the difference? I'm looking at this. I'm thinking about it, Colin. I'm saying to myself, hey, maybe I go buy some Bitcoin, or maybe I want to leverage my money and maybe go to leverage mining and become involved in the mining of it and the investment of the mining. What's the mindset differential between the people that just want to buy some and the people that want to get involved in mine it?
Yeah, sure. So there's two ways to do it. Just like you said, you could buy spot Bitcoin on an exchange like Binance or Coinbase. And then you could mine Bitcoin. You could buy a mining machine, you could own your machine, and you can mine Bitcoin directly into your offline wallet. So the biggest two factors that I see people mine for is number one, you're buying equipment. So you're getting a tax deduction. You can bonus depreciate the equipment in year one using Section 179. And basically you can deduct the entire cost. So it's a massive tax savings and offsetting your income. When you buy Bitcoin on an exchange spot on Coinbase, you're not getting any tax incentive. You are paying on all that income that you use to buy Bitcoin. You're paying your income tax, your federal income tax on that. You're not getting any savings there. And then the other reason people love mining Bitcoin is, you're not putting in your know your customer KYC information into an exchange. Now Coinbase has your social, they have all your info. When you're mining Bitcoin, you can mine and you can directly send that to your offline wallet. That's your custody. No one knows you have that Bitcoin and you are a free person to do what you want with it.
Yeah. So cool. I mean, you break it down so simply. So many people make it complicated, but Colin, talking to you, it really sort of puts together the idea in a simplistic way that anybody can get their arms around. So thank you for that. Let's talk about it. So people are hearing you. They've heard about what you're doing at Leverage. You and Connor are doing a great job. You've got this great energy source. You're liquefying everything, cooling everything down. What's that conversation sound like? In other words, someone reaches out to you and they say, okay, I'm interested. I want to invest. Yep. Is there a minimum investment? How does it sort of look in terms of the investment opportunity with Leverage?
Sure. Yeah. So we have two different investor packages, really two products. The first product is just going to be our Terahash package. So the Terahash package, we own the miners. You're just renting the Terahash from us. So this is someone that, if they don't want to buy on an exchange, they don't want to put KYC info in, they can, just rent the Terahash from us and we send that Bitcoin directly from our rigs right to their offline wallet. Then for the bigger investors, $125,000 and up, we have packages from $125K, $250K, $500K, and $1 million. These are for more investors that are looking for that tax incentive, right? So they are 100% owners of the machine, and they can also, write off the management expenses because we manage it, just like you would pay an HOA fee or a property manager on your real estate. That's a deduction. Same thing with mining Bitcoin. So you get a massive, let's say $500,000 tax deduction, plus you're getting all that money back in Bitcoin mined directly into your offline wallet. So we have the lower tier investments, which is the Terahash package of 12K and 24K, and then all the way up to the 125K to $1 million.
Yeah, I love it. So, you're going to get people reaching out. You have people reaching out all the time. They're either going in the rent a Terahash, sort of opportunity, or the bigger tax incentive opportunity, 125K, working up to $1 million plus. when we think about it and we think about what you're doing and we think about sort of this idea, the thing that's going to come into some people's minds is safety. What's your thought about safety, Colin? What do you and your partner and your team think about safety? How do you protect the safe investment? How do you protect the machines? Give us a little bit of a high level of what's going on in your head as the CEO of this company with regard to safety.
Yeah, absolutely. So insurance is a big factor. We insure all of our property and our equipment as well. We have very good contracts that protect both us, the company, and the investor. And then we're also, making sure that all of the information that we receive is received on, a secure basis of your Bitcoin wallet address. We never take anything but your public Bitcoin wallet address. So there's no way we can access any of your systems where you're getting paid out. And you have full access and full transparency of the back end. So when we give you access to our slush pool, you can see directly what's going on with the Bitcoin block rewards. You can see if the systems are down, what the uptime is, when your next payout is. You can reset your threshold of when you're getting paid out. And that's all customizable to the customer. So everything is fully transparent. And that's something we value, with safety.
Yeah, I love it. And we found for the people watching this show, Colin, to really be sort of a fountain of information. And we've only cut out a 30-minute time frame. But for people interested, reach out to him. I mean, Colin can talk for 30 days about this, Bitcoin business and the leverage mining, let alone 30 minutes. And what I love about what you're doing and what you're capable of is the way in which you're taking something that potentially could be very complex, as a business model, and you're simplifying it for the front end so that people can really understand what's going on. They understand the tax incentive. They understand the deduction. They understand how the mining works, how the liquefied cooling works, what it's all about. If they want to get into the terahash, they can. There's a lot going on here. Now, you started young. I mean, you're young right now, but you started real young as an entrepreneur. I mean, you've been an entrepreneur for more years than men and women who are a lot older than you. So let's talk about it. I mean, what was the thing that turned you on about entrepreneurship? What was the thing about, when you were younger, starting little businesses and learning and understanding and moving forward? What was it about entrepreneurship that really sort of, got you going in the morning?
Yeah, freedom, really. That's the one word answer. I just wanted freedom with my time, with my money. I want to enjoy time with my family, and I want to focus on the things I love. So I always loved, making YouTube videos as a kid. And of course, when I was stuck at my corporate job, making only $39,000 a year, my first year out of college, I was like, man, I'm not doing what I used to love as a kid. So I think for anyone watching this, the number one thing you could do if you're not happy with what you're doing is just think about what you were doing as a little kid, when you were playing, and try to make that play your life. And that's what I do with creating content, marketing, sales, my personal brand, and building companies around things I'm interested in, like Bitcoin.
Yeah, I love it. And of course, you're prolific on YouTube. You have a great Twitter account. You're on Instagram. You're on all the social and everything like that. For the other people watching the show, how important is that social aspect to your business to get the word out about what you're doing?
Yeah, it's everything, really. I mean, we have 35 clients right now, and we opened just 9 months ago, and all of that was organically done through Instagram stories. So everything's fully organic. I've never ran an ad before, and we get all of our investors from our social media. So we're constantly creating videos, of the warehouse. We're putting out little pieces of our new Immersion systems, making reels and TikToks about it. Twitter as well. We're posting, tons of mining facts and different threads on mining. So we're full force on social media, and we're definitely not going to slow down.
Yeah, I love it so much. And of course, you understand about adversity. You understand already at this young age what it takes to sort of get through adversity. So let's talk about that. How important has adversity been to your entrepreneurial journey and becoming better?
Yeah, adversity is everything, right? I mean, with especially in mining, you got to set yourself apart from the rest, and especially starting out a brand new company when people have been mining since 2011, it's pretty difficult. So you got to stand out in some kind of way. So what we did was we actually interviewed a lot of other different mining companies, and I actually got to talk with Jason Less, which is a CEO of one of the largest Bitcoin mining companies. And I interviewed him and I actually got to see, what they did and what they were really good at. And then I took all the things I loved from the biggest mining companies out there. I took what I didn't like and I left that out, and I took what I liked, and we combined our own packages and our own company really around our surveillance of these other businesses. And it's been able to work pretty well over the past, 9 months. So I think standing out, number one would be, our immersion cooling. There's not many companies out there that do that at scale, and every single one of our rigs is immersion cooled. And then next is going to be the methane, capturing methane. And that's a whole nother area we could get into, but maybe for another time. But that's another area we're looking to explore because there's a lot of money to be made there as well.
I love it. You're on the cutting edge. I mean, one thing leads to another. See, for the entrepreneurs watching the show, rewind what Colin just said. He keeps his eyes open. He talks to people that have knowledge that he doesn't have. He has this thirst for knowledge, this thirst for understanding. He asks great questions, and he surrounds himself with people that care about him. One thing that we love about your journey, Colin, of course, is you're a big believer also in leverage. I mean, you believe in a leverage lifestyle. You believe in leverage investments. I mean, I don't know what else you're leveraging, but it's all about leverage. Let's talk about that. What's the story about leverage in your world? Why is that such an important word in your life?
Yeah. So 2 years ago, I created the website for kind of my personal brand, leveragelifestyle.com. And really that it's as simple as that word. I leverage everything in my lifestyle. Like, if I met a relationship that I think I can make money with him, I will leverage that relationship. I'll set up a video sales letter. I'll set up a website and a funnel. He'll do the operations and I'll start funneling all my audience to there. And, we'll make a partnership. And I pretty much done that with all 4 of my businesses: leverage ERC, leverage mining, leverage lifestyle, and leverage investments. So they all have operation partners. I leverage my social media, I create content, and then I push them all to my operations. So leveraging my lifestyle, whether that be traveling with credit for free, mining Bitcoin with an energy source that my best friend has access to. I've leveraged it all.
Yeah, it's great. And one thing, again, for the entrepreneurs watching the show, one thing that really makes this journey a remarkable entrepreneurial journey is the fact that while Colin is leveraging everything around him, he always puts other people first. In other words, he thinks about ways to improve and enhance and put people in the position to win and put his clients in the position to make money and be invested in something that's cutting edge. And when you're leveraging things, the key, of course, is to put yourself in the position to help others first, because the more you help other people get to where they're going to go, the faster you get to where you're going. I mean, I love it so much. Now, again, I've only cut out a certain amount of time. You've been so nice to, cut out 30 minutes out of this day of what you're doing over there, Colin. Let's get back to the entrepreneurs before I let you go. Thanks for allowing me to go over a little bit. Sure. For the entrepreneurs watching the show, maybe they're having a tough time. Maybe they're hitting a wall. They can't get through it. They freeze in the frame. What types of advice can you give to the younger entrepreneurs watching the show about what it takes to keep on pushing when times get tough?
Yeah, you just got to stay consistent. Never give up until you get what you want. And really it's that simple. If I would have stopped, after 3 months of trying and not seeing those results, I never would be here. So, you got to have a very long time horizon, stay patient, micro speed, macro patience, and just know success loves speed. So once you start get a little hint of it, you got to go full force into it, because, that little, flame that you have could die out. So you got to feed that flame, stay consistent.
I love it. I mean, success and speed. Say that again. That's such a great quote.
Success loves speed.
Success loves speed. I mean, I can see that being your TED Talk. I mean, it's fantastic. I love it. Colin, this has been awesome to have you on the show. Love what you're doing at Leverage Mining. I mean, you're helping so many people, the investment opportunity. People need to check it out for sure. reach out to Colin, have a conversation with him, go on his, multiple social media accounts. He's always accessible. He's always posting great information, great articles, great YouTubes, of course. He is all about helping you, and he puts you first. I love it so much. So thanks so much, Colin, for coming on the .com Magazine Entrepreneur Spotlight Series today. This has been very, very enlightening.
Thank you so much, Andy. Thanks for having me. Had a great time.